And report cards are a pretty big deal in my house growing up. Unlike, I like to tell people all this, I'm the lone American in my family. And so my parents, my mom and dad, are from the beautiful country of Trinidad and Tobago. Any West Indians in the house? Anybody? All right, yeah, we'll talk later. So report cards and education was a very big deal in my house. And if my dad wasn't on the road as a welder, 9 times out of 10, he was the first person that you had to bring this report card to. It was almost like it was Judgment Day. You're walking in there. Usually he is on the couch watching TV, because back then you only had one TV. And 9 times out of 10, his dad, who always had the remote, or he's on the bed, his throne, and you're walking in there handing him this report card. And I'm a fairly good student. You know, I used to get mostly B's. Don't tell my kids that. But I was a fairly good student. But that particular day, my dad did not focus on the grades on this report card. That was not good, got his attention. What my dad honed in on this particular day as a 3rd grader were the comments written on this report card. Now, I'm gonna ask, because this is a group project, and I do believe that you all are my friends. So just yell out, what do you think the teacher wrote on this report card? Anybody want to take a guess? So that's how y'all gonna do it. This girl over here was like, oh, I already know, talks too much. I love the fact that everybody from east to west, the whole room was just like, talks too much, right? Well, you're right. Yes, my teachers, every single one of them said exactly what you said. Great student, just talks too much. So my West Indian father decided to focus on that day. Not the fact that there were A's and B's, not the fact that the teacher said, she's a great student, but just talks too much. He decided to focus on the fact that you just talk too much. That day when I stood before my West Indian father, we're discussing this report card, and he has this frown on his face, and he's very upset and wondering why his daughter has to be the one that's talking so much. I really wanted to tell him, Dad, I'm not. There's a kid next to me who talks way more than I do. At least I'm talking and getting my work done, right? But he asked me a question that 33 years later still echoes in my heart. And this is the question that my dad asked. What do you have to talk about so? And you have to understand, let me explain this, because I know for many of you, you don't get it, probably it's not grammatically correct, but in a West Indian family, when you add, see the sisters nodding their head, when you add the word so to anything, it's like an exclamation point. So, what do you have to talk about so? Why you're carrying on so? Why you're talking so loud so? Every time you add so to something, it's an exclamation point. So as a 3rd grader, I knew I was in big trouble because he added the word so. But this 8-year-old, kinky hair, pigtail, I wish I could show you the picture, shorter than most, slightly chunky, but independent, strong-willed, caring, without skipping a beat, without blinking. This is what I said, sis. I just believe I got something to say. The room got quiet. I wasn't sure if that was a good quiet. I wasn't sure if I was going to be really rebuked or I was going to be cast out into the sea. The room got quiet, and I just said, I believe I got something to say. And I did. I believe I had something to say. But how many of you know life happens to a 3rd grader? You become a 4th grader, 5th grader, 6th grader, high school comes, college comes. And then you have to survive sexual trauma. You have to survive low self-esteem, doubt, depression, toxic thoughts, and those things begin to what? Silence and minimize your voice. Here's what I want to encourage every one of you, and even the brave dudes who are in the room, that you need to find that 3rd grader again. You remember what she was like. She was the girl who wanted to be an astronaut, she wanted to be a teacher, and she wanted to be a president all in the same day. All in the same 24 hours, right? She's the girl who knew that no matter what was going on, her voice is important to the narrative. She really believed she had something to say, and somebody's gonna listen. I believed that as a 3rd grader. I knew that. I mean, when I think about that day, it's ingrained in my mind because, ladies and gentlemen, when I said to my dad without skipping a beat, it came from this peaceful place believed what I said to him. I was like, I just believe I had something to say, and people need to listen. When you're growing up and you're the only American in your West Indian family, and West Indian people, we talk loud, we talk passionate. You gotta get in where you fit in. I just believe I have something to say. You gotta find your something to say, because your voice is important, and you've been silent and quiet for way too long. You gotta find it again. Because here's what I've discovered in discovering my own voice and finding again my three friends on the front. This is what I found out. That when I become empowered and I stand tall and I claim my voice, then everyone else who's connected around me, they now become empowered and they're able to stand tall, because your story gives others permission. Whether you're walking powerfully in that story or whether you're shrinking violent in that story. And so when I meet people, even today, that watch the Ro Show live and say, Ro, I'm so glad that you go live. Man, you were talking about this, that, and the other, and that really encouraged me. I took your tips, and I'm doing this, and look what has happened in my life. What if I remained quiet? What if I never tapped into finding that third grade girl again? Life happens. Life comes at you fast. Believe me, I know. I had a baby at 40. Life comes at you real fast. When we found out we were pregnant, my husband turned to me and said, you set our plan back. I said, sir, I didn't do this alone.